In this video, we're going to take a look at a very important aspect of R, which is called recycling. So in R, everything is a vector. So if I actually create a vector v1 and use the combine that we've seen before, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I type out v1, there's our vector. But if I type out v2 and I just call this 100, make that 100. If you see that, that's actually the same form. So even just a simple string is a vector. So basically everything in R is a vector, is the way to think about these things. And that's very powerful because we can add vectors together. Now, of course, if I add 1, 2, 3, 4 to the vector 2, 4, 6, 8, we kind of know what that means, kind of know what to expect. We're adding two vectors of a similar length. But that's where recycling comes in. Let me create another vector, which is just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's create a vector u, which is going to be 0 and 1. So now it wouldn't really make sense for us to be able to add those two vectors together, but as you can see, we can. A little warning message comes up, but what you can see that's happened is basically the shorter vector has been repeated a bunch of times to make it up. So you see that 1 has been added to 0 to give 1, 2 has been added to 1 to give 3, then 3 has been added to 0, so it's just added a 0 and a 1, and then it's added another 0. So for example, we've had the 5. So that's how recycling works, and it doesn't just work on addition, it can work on other things. So for example, I can check how many things in this vector are less than 4. Now all that's actually done is simply gone, let's write it out again, and compared that pairwise to a vector of 4s of sufficient length. 1, 2, 3, 8, 6, 7, 8. So that's all that's happened there. So it's a very important notion in R. It's extremely useful, and it's important to think about the fact that everything in R is a vector. And as you can see, this is very powerful because it allows us to compare elements in a vector very quickly, add elements very quickly, and using this powerful notion of recycling. So understand recycling, it's a very powerful tool.